Hi, my name is Laurie, and I struggle with bipolar disorder type 2 and borderline personality disorder. Well, I will tell you, it's not even Thanksgiving, and I am already stressed out. I am broke and don't have enough money to buy everybody gifts that I would like to. I have already had so many invitations, which is a good thing. I don't have to be alone if I don't want to be. But I've had so many invitations, and some of the places I was invited, I don't feel comfortable. And so I'm already starting to feel overwhelmed. So I wanted to go over a few things that I've learned over the years on how to handle and manage the holidays in a practical way, because I know when I see things like videos on YouTube where, therapists are giving you tips, it's like, yeah, whatever, you healthy brain or whatever are giving me tips, but I'm going to try to give you like real world circumstances. Like, this is how I handled it. I'm 61 years old. I have seen a lot of holidays. I've had some where I was happy, some where I was depressed, anxious, overwhelmed, somewhere I was broke, somewhere I had lots of people, and somewhere I was so lonely I thought I was gonna die. So I thought I'd give you just a few examples. One of the first things that I learned was learn to say no. When you are depressed and overwhelmed and you have mental illness and you're struggling through the holidays, learn to say no. I remember one year that it was kind of like this year. Everything started getting stressful. People had attitudes in my family and were already like, about Christmas. And I was just like over it. Before Thanksgiving, I was over it. And I was like, I'm done. I am absolutely done with you people. I'm not spending the holidays with you or anybody else. So what I did was I decided I was going to spend Christmas Eve and Christmas Day by myself. And I was just going to order in Chinese food. I was going to watch a movie, and I was just going to have everybody leave me alone and not worry with the stress. That's what I did. I spent Thanksgiving with family, and I think a couple of weeks before Christmas, I had my nephew and his children and my mom and brother over, and we opened gifts and had some finger foods. But come Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, I had reserved that for me. And I had my little Chinese food, and I watched my funny movie, and I had no stress. And it was a nice Christmas. But here's the thing. No one got mad at me, and no one unfriended me. And I think that's what we worry about so often is, well, what will other people think? And we have to have some balance, because there may be people in your family that care about you and would get their feelings hurt. But what I have found in my experience is if I'm just honest and say, hey, I'm stressed out. Everybody's freaking me out. I just want Chinese food and to watch a movie. People don't seem to get really upset about that. They just kind of laugh it off and just let me be me. So another thing is, I remember after my dad died, and that is the hardest, grief during the holidays. Oh my gosh, that is so hard. And I am so sorry for anybody that's going through that right now. I remember the year that my dad died. My aunt and uncle invited us over for Christmas. Well, we had Christmas with them many times over the years, but it was my dad's family. And my dad's brother looked just like him. And I'm starting to feel the tears coming up as I'm even telling this story, and this was years ago. So we went to their house, and they did nothing wrong. I mean, they invited us into their home. They were kind to us. They did nothing wrong. But we were beyond devastated. Our favorite person in the world had just died. The person that we counted on, the person that we trusted, the person that we loved so much. And here we are in his family's home celebrating Christmas without him. We were miserable. I mean, this was years ago, and I'm tearing up just thinking about it now. We were absolutely miserable. I was so depressed, and I was on the verge of tears every moment that we were there. And when my mom, brother, and I walked out of that house and got in the car, I told them, never again. This will never happen again. We cannot recreate holidays without him. It will never be the same. And I said, next year, we're going out of town. I don't care what we have to do, but we're out of here. So the next year, that's what we did. We went to Disney World, and we spent Christmas Eve and Christmas Day at Disney World. And we watched the Christmas parade. We saw the Christmas fireworks. We rode rides. We ate there. We opened up a gift each in the hotel room. We had so much fun. I can't even begin to tell you how much fun it was. And did we miss my dad? Did we think about my dad? I'm sure we did, but that's not what I remember. I don't think of it and tear up. I think of it and smile. It is a happy memory for my family, even though we were missing my dad. And I think that's so important for people to understand. Sometimes when you've lost people that you love, it's just better to just pick up and do something different. And at that particular time, we had enough money to go to Disney World. We wouldn't have the money to do that right now. Well, I would be creative and I would find something else to do, because I would have been just as determined that we weren't going to try to go back to his family's house and recreate Christmas. So another thing is, one year I was all alone. I had had mental illness for a lot of years. I had really been struggling. I had lost some of my friends. My dad had died. I wasn't living near my brother. Like, I was alone, and I was depressed. I was sad. I was miserable. And I wanted so bad to have like this big Hallmark Christmas. Well, that wasn't going to happen even if I had been around my family. We're just not Hallmark people. We might have been when I was a kid. We might have been more like that, but we haven't been in years. So I just wanted to be a part of Christmas. I just wanted to celebrate. And I was so lonely and so depressed. And so I thought, well, what can I do? I cannot sit in this house and just cry. And I remembered that the Catholic Church had... or at least I had seen on TV that Catholic churches have midnight mass on Christmas Eve. And I thought, oh, I'm going to find a Catholic church and I'm going to go do that. So I did. And it was so much fun because, you know, everybody was coming in wishing me a Merry Christmas. Everybody was all dressed up in their Christmas outfits. And yes, I did for a few moments there get sad and think, well, why don't I have a family? Why don't I have anybody? Why am I all alone? Yes, of course, I did have those thoughts. But for the most part, I was enjoying what was going on around me. I was enjoying looking at the church, which was just absolutely beautiful. The stained glass windows, the statues, watching the priest, watching the rituals. See, I'm not Catholic, so I didn't know what all they did. And I just had a really nice time. And when I left, I felt satisfied because I felt like, okay, you participated in Christmas. You didn't sit at home and cry, you participated. And now, it doesn't even have to be a Catholic church now. Most churches have something on Christmas Eve. And a lot of churches get together on Christmas Eve day or Christmas Day, and they hand out meals to people who don't have the money that can't afford, you know, food. And it's like, so if you wanted to be around people and do something Christmassy, you could go volunteer at a church. I mean, you just have to be creative, or at least I do. I have to be creative. And this year, oh my gosh, I'm telling you, all hell is broken loose. And I can tell this is going to be one of those holidays. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to do some of the things that I may not necessarily be real thrilled about. And I'm going to do some of the things that I am. But Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, those are mine. I've already hijacked those holidays. And I told my mom and my brother, I said, listen, I don't have a lot of money, but my favorite place to go is the casino, and that's where I'm going. I'm having Christmas Eve dinner, and I'm going to go to the casino, and I'm just going to have to play minimum bet. I'm just going to have to hit, you know, little 50 cents. But that's okay. I will still be in one of my favorite places. And so my mom and brother agreed that's what we're going to do, and that's what we're going to tell people. Like, we've got our own plans. We've got our own things. And so anything that we need to do or get done, we're going to do before then. Also, this year we are on a really tight budget. One of the things that I have done is I've started telling adults, like, hey, you know, we're on a budget. We're broke. And so if you don't mind, let's not exchange gifts this year. This year, we're just going to give to my nieces. We're just going to give to the kids. And we're going to do that on a budget. And so don't be ashamed to say, hey, I'm broke. Like, I'm out. We got to figure out something. You know, I know that our family over the years, depending on who we were around, how big of a family gathering it was, sometimes we drew names where we only had to buy one gift. Or sometimes with friends, we play the Dirty Santa, where everybody brings one gift and then you put it in a pile and draw numbers and people get the gifts and then people steal from each other. And it's a fun game. People love it. And it's like, in that way, you only buy one gift for $20 or less. and it's more affordable, and you can feel like you're a part of Christmas and you can have fun and enjoy it. But I just found that if I decide I want to do something different and that's better for my mental health and what I'm going through, I just need to be creative, and I just need to be honest with people. And like I said, so far, nobody's gotten mad and nobody's unfriended me. So I do hope that whatever situation you're in, that you can find some happiness and joy this season. Thank you for watching. Bye.